Now, from Arkansas's News and Information Center, this is THV 11 This Morning.
Oh, and good morning. We are so glad you could join us for THV 11 this morning. I'm Craig O'Neill alongside Elise Edie, Sarah Fordner, who is in for the birthday boy, Tom Brannon, who has been taking off the entire week for his birthday. That must be one heck of a celebration. He does this every year.
Yep. But he won't tell you it's his birthday. You just kind of have to remember or, you know, hear it from someone else. But yeah.
You don't have to get him anything. Just watch the morning show. That's gift enough.
Exactly. We sure have had fun with you. It's been what? Today's our third day.
Yep.
And then you're
today's
live.
my first day.
Yeah, you're first. Today's your Monday.
Yep.
And you're live for us Thursday and Friday. Where are you going?
Going to Pine Bluff tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you watch us tomorrow, it is impossible for you not to wake up tomorrow because we're going to be there in honor of the UAPB big game coming up against Alcorn State Saturday, War Memorial.
Great.
And then Friday, Lono for home field advantage.
It's going to be a lot of energy. That I promise you.
Yes.
Hopefully good weather to go along with it, Sarah.
I'm right. Are you ready to wear maybe a long sleeve or a light jacket?
Yes.
What is that threshold where you put on a jacket? 50s?
For me, it's like 70s, low 70s. But for most people, I don't know. What do you think, Craig? 60s?
60,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, well, tomorrow you will be needing a light jacket. Happy to report that. It's a mild day today, but tweet me what you think using that hashtag #Beyond11. What's the threshold for that light jacket in the morning? I'm forecasting 50s, so I'm going to be rolling into work tomorrow with some layers. I know that for sure. Let's get into your skies now. River Market area. It's beautiful. A little bit of cloud cover out there.
I do not plan a day in advance what I'm wearing, to tell you the truth.
Craig, this is what my job is for. I'm going to get you equipped for your day ahead, depending on what you're going to wear, right? That's what the meteorologist does in the morning. We've got clear skies. This is your day planner. Passing clouds to start today. Midday, 10% chance for rain. Very spotty activity, and I think we're going to have more clouds today, kind of like we saw yesterday. Comfortable though, by the evening, we're going to have temperatures cooling off, dry air sinking in. I'm so excited to kick off October. Finally feeling like it, right? September's been warm. It's been dry. We've got changes coming. Clear skies this morning in South Arkansas. Elsewhere, North Arkansas, Central Arkansas, we're waking up to some gray skies. 68 in Searcy, 65 in Hot Springs, 64 now in Harrison. Here's your haircast. It's been a while since I whipped this bad boy out, and I think it's time because we're going to have breezy conditions, cloudy skies. The dew point, it's a little muggy today, but it is getting better in that forecast. Coming up later, we've got your full week ahead, but in the meantime, your hour by hour for Wednesday, mostly cloudy this afternoon, highs in the low 80s. Back to you guys.
All right, Sarah, Governor Asa Hutchinson will return to Arkansas today.
He's been in Cuba since Sunday, speaking with dignitaries and foreign ambassadors about open trade. Close to 50 Arkansas business owners joined him for the trip, and it's all in hopes of building a stronger trade relationship between our state and their country.
And the governor says this process will be slow because of challenges. Right now, the U.S. only allows cash trades, but Cuban officials prefer exchange for credit.
Senator Bozeman has taken the lead in Washington for legislation that would authorize the extension of credit for agricultural sales. That's an important first step.
Governor Hutchinson says the second step is improving Cuba's banks, telecommunications, and internet access. He's the first U.S. governor to visit Cuba since diplomatic relations were restored in July. Conway police busy tracking down a man they say ran off during a recess of his trial. Officers say Michael Rowland was out on bond. He showed up for his trial yesterday, but he reportedly left in a car and was later seen jumping out of that car near Central Baptist College. Rowland is facing drug and battery charges, and police tell us failure to appear and bond revocation charges will be added. If you see him, call police. The family of the Little Rock man who was shot and killed outside of his home now offering a $15,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. Dennis Soba was shot back in August. Family members say they heard a commotion outside of his Colonel Glenn home, and when Soba went to check it out, he was shot to death. State police say 2 people are in custody after a high-speed chase in Benton. It happened yesterday on Interstate 30. Reports show officials started following the SUV because it matched a vehicle description that they believe was part of a robbery in Garland County. State police say they chased the pair for 10 miles before they finally stopped and were arrested. Names and charges, though, aren't being released yet.
8 inmates on death row trying to put a stop to their executions. They're arguing the state's refusal to reveal where it gets execution drugs is unconstitutional. Yesterday's filing says Arkansas's new secrecy law violates a previous settlement with the state that ensured inmates would be given the information. The state is set to resume executions at the end of October. This will be the first one in 10 years. In Georgia, the only woman on death row in that state has been executed. Attorneys for Kelly Gissendaner filed a series of appeals last night trying to save her life, but she was put to death early this morning. She was sentenced back in 1998 for plotting the stabbing death of her husband with her lover. Gissendaner is the first woman to be put to death in Georgia in 70 years. Vatican officials have yet to confirm a meeting between Kim Davis and Pope Francis during his visit to the U.S. Davis's attorney revealed yesterday the two met briefly last week at the Vatican embassy in Washington and that the Pope told her to stay strong. The Kentucky clerk spent several days in jail earlier this month for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. And more rain on the way for the East Coast as a result of Tropical Storm Joaquin. Flood watches are now in effect into the Northeast following record rainfall yesterday. Joaquin is currently churning in the Atlantic and could soon become a hurricane. Back here in Arkansas, Little Rock expected to break an all-time record for one of the driest Septembers in more than a century. According to the National Weather Service, this month, Little Rock has only had 0.12 of an inch of rain. The previous record set back in 1917. 0.27 of an inch. This means we're going to have to see less than 0.16 of an inch before midnight to avoid making history, this impacting businesses.
Most of the lawns that we've been doing, they got dried out.
Precipitation records have been kept since 1874, and there have only been 4 other September months in history that have made the top 10 driest month list.
6:37 now. Nonstop flights to New Orleans will soon be offered at Clinton National Airport. Glow Airlines says daily flights will begin in November. A one-way ticket is $189, and Glow operates out of New Orleans and also flies to Shreveport and to Memphis. And more news from Clinton National. Recent numbers from the National Bureau of Transportation shows that airfare in Little Rock has been above the national average for years. The airport's executive director says he wishes there was something that he could do about it, but it's out of his hands.
The airlines really hire all sorts of mathematicians, actuaries, and so forth, and they look at demand, they look at how people buy and what they do, and that's what really manages the air prices, the airfare prices.
And you often hear travelers say it's cheaper to drive to Memphis and fly out from there. But get this, comparatively, the Memphis airport has an even higher price markup on the average ticket.
The Bryant School District continues to grow, but some parents and teachers worry its schools aren't prepared for new incoming students. Last month, there was a meeting to discuss the issue, and right now, the district is applying for $1 billion in state funds to expand. This comes after 2 failed attempts to raise their millage tax. School leaders say they've had 37% growth in just 10 years, and they need more room to accommodate everyone.
So we're going to have new buildings. We're going to have a new elementary school because ours are near capacity.
State law requires the district to submit its master plan every 2 years. Superintendent Tom Kimbrell hopes public input will help craft the final version due March 1st.
The leaves are slowly starting to change, and dozens of Arkansans are already making plans to see the best fall foliage the state has to offer.
You can start reserving space for the annual Fall Color Tours through the Ozark National Forest. This year's tour set for October 16th in Jasper. And the tour consists of a bus route through the scenic mountains, and it's also a great chance to see wild elk. And it costs $6 a person. That includes lunch. To learn more, visit thb11.com.
Well, cooler weather is rolling in, but that doesn't mean that you can't deck your home out with floral balls. You heard that right. Floral balls.
Our garden guru, Chris H. Olson, is here on this Home and Garden Wednesday. He's sharing ways to create your own hanging baskets. You need to know this to improve your environment. Next.
Speaking of your environment, it is getting better over the weekend. Temperatures are finally dropping. It's going to be feeling like fall the first weekend of October. Stay here.
Razorback fans, we're about to start seeing orange. No, not because we're going deer hunting or going to work for the highway department. No, Arkansas is heading to Tennessee, hoping to get their first SEC win of the season and show a glimmer of hope for Hog fans. The 28-21 loss to Texas A&M dropped the Razorbacks to 0-9 under Bielema in games decided by fewer than 10 points. Coach's voice cracked with emotion at times after that game. Tennessee is 2-2, Hogs 1-3. A win on the road over the Vols would mean everything to this struggling offense and team.
They've had a couple fourth quarter losses as well, and if anything, they know it's tough. We know it's tough when you can't close out games, but the biggest thing we're working on is us. Now, as I'm getting into this role of you're the go-to guy, you're the guy we need to get open every time. We need the ball in your hands. I feel like I'm more of a respected vocal leader for the Whiteouts.
Now let's move to Pine Bluff. The Golden Lions of UAPB looking for their second win. Right now they're 1-3 for the season, and they have a tough challenge ahead of them. They take on the Braves of Alcorn State Saturday in Little Rock. They're the Alcorn State's the 2014 defending Southwest Athletic Conference champions. Alcorn State had a rough start to the season. They lost 69-6 to Georgia Tech, but they've won every game since. Kickoff set for 4 p.m. at War Memorial Stadium, and we're going to be live in Pine Bluff tomorrow to get that party started early and to make sure UAPB brings home a win. Make sure you tune in.
All right, Craig, thanks a lot. Your traffic conditions this morning, we've checked with police. The roads are clear. Officer Michelle Hill has the day off. But here's a check of where police are running radar today. Let's take a look. Little Rock Police will be on Kavanaugh Boulevard, North Little Rock, Amber Street, and MacArthur Boulevard. And Arkansas State Police will be on Cantrell Road. Make sure you slow down and buckle up on your way in. Sarah, we'll send things to you.
Now, weather from the Crane Kia Weather Garden.
Starting out in the Weather Garden this morning, glad you're waking up with us. I'm Sarah Fortner in for Tom Brannon. Let's get first to your skies. Let's see what we're looking at. What I'm looking at, mainly the sun coming up. Skies are a little overcast, a little cloudy, and they're going to become more cloudy as we go into the afternoon. Let's get right to your Wednesday day planner. Walking out the door in 70s. The afternoon holds 80s. More 70s in tune for about dinner time. But then after that, those temperatures are really taking a tumble as the skies start to clear. Here are the headlines. We are cooling off. Today is the last day of September, going into October, finally with weather. It's going to start feeling like it. Mainly dry, though, little to no chance for rain in that extended forecast, and boy, do we need it. A great weekend outlook. Dry, but temperatures are going to be below normal. It's been forever since I've been able to say that. At 68 in the metro, calm wind, dew point at 64, so it is a little muggy. Feels like 68, partly to mostly cloudy. We're all in the 60s this morning. It's going to be a mild walk to your car. By the afternoon, we've got changes coming. So this front's going to push through the state. It's going to keep us mostly cloudy today with even a very small chance for rain. But on the backside of this, cooler, drier air in place. So this afternoon, this is why I put a 10% chance for rain in there. Less than what we saw yesterday, but you're going to see clouds that are going to roll through your neighborhood that will look like it's going to rain, and some of them may. Others won't be able to squeeze out any raindrops. The atmosphere aloft is just a little too dry. Tomorrow morning, waking up to clear skies and staying clear all day long. And the same story goes for Friday. We're kind of wedged in between two systems. We've got this low pressure to the east. We've got an upper level trough to the west, basically just an upper level disturbance. It's going to stay essentially out west. So I think we're going to stay dry for mostly Friday and Saturday. 81 your high today. Clearing up with spotty rain, north-northeast wind 5 to 15. It will be a little breezy by the afternoon, but it's going to be out of the north. So it's a good thing, right? It's pulling in that cooler and drier conditions. 58 tonight, cooler and clear, northeast wind 6 to 12. And your week ahead, 78 your high tomorrow. I'm really excited, you guys. 80s today will be the last of the 80s we see in the week ahead. And then tonight, look at low temperatures near 58, and we're going to stay in the 50s all week ahead in the morning hours mainly. Passing clouds over the weekend, but still we're going to stay mainly dry. Craig, let's check back in with you.
Let's improve your health here. We've got some issues with tissues. 2 new studies show increasing calcium intake or taking supplements not likely to improve bone strength or prevent fractures in older people. Current guidelines advise that older women and men take up to 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day, but researchers from New Zealand found that extra calcium through diet or supplements will increase bone density by such a small amount that taking all that is meaningless. A Brazilian study shows vitamin D supplements can increase muscle strength and reduce the loss of muscle mass in postmenopausal women. The research shows women still experience improvements 12 years after menopause. And children with grandmothers who smoked have an increased risk of developing asthma, even if their mothers didn't smoke. Researchers found the risk of asthma increased as much as 22% if grandmothers smoked during the mom's pregnancy. 1.5 million bicycles sold in the United States, Canada, and Mexico are being recalled. An open quick-release lever on the bicycle's front wheel hub can come into contact with the front disc brake. This causes the front wheel to stop suddenly or separate. 13 manufacturers are involved. 3 incidents have been reported so far, resulting in 1 injury. Seems like sky's the limit when it comes to how much binge watching you can do. Virgin America has partnered with Netflix, allowing passengers to bring their own devices on board and access Netflix's entire catalog on the carrier's new Wi-Fi equipped aircraft. Even better, the service will be free for existing Netflix users through March of 2016. And Tesla has rolled out its Model X electric SUV. The automaker unveiled its 3rd vehicle at its California factory yesterday. The car features rear doors, which open upward. They've got 3 rows, 7 seats. Sarah.
Okay, we're talking spheres on this Home and Garden Wednesday.
Loads of spheres.
Lifestyle expert Chris Achelson, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Glad you're here. So we're making something hanging. I love this look.
Well, this
what are you doing here?
This is kind of fun and funky. Instead of just being a regular hanging basket, you know, usually we plant like this and it hangs like this.
Right.
Instead, I made my own globe. And this is great because it looks really cool, even in the wintertime. So, like this one, I did Asiatic jasmine, rosemary, and red pansies.
Right.
And when it all grows together, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
So what you're saying, so I don't know if you can see it well on air, but I mean, this is literally like, so it's 2 of them put together? Is that how you did it?
We're going to create it. We're going to kind of start create it. All you do is you get your regular hanging baskets. Now, you can do bigger size if you want, and they come with a cocoa mat.
Okay.
And I already took off the hanger on one of them because you don't need it. And then what you're going to do is you're first going to plant it. Now, you can pick any type of plant material that you want, especially something that's more of a ground cover.
Okay.
And you first poke a hole. Now, most people think you'd fill it with soil and then plant it, but you plant it first. So we take one of these out. Let's do a pansy because it's
get
smaller.
messy and fun.
Yeah, and then you can stick that right in this way, and then you just keep going round and round and round.
Okay.
And once you do that, you can see the insides like this.
Right.
Now, sometimes if you do that, the plant breaks. So I will actually take the plant with the root ball out, and I roll it in a piece of paper, like, you know, just like roll it real round. Right. And then I stick it right through like that, and then unwrap it.
Almost like you use it like a funnel or something.
Yeah, a little funnel, and do that. And then once you do that, you're going to fill it with your pot and soil, and you're going to do each half. So do each half. And we're just going to pretend this is done. But anyhow, you do it like that. And then, if they're all full and planted already, now remember, use good pot and soil. Don't use that cheap stuff.
Especially if you're putting this much effort into something so cool.
I agree. Then you're going to take some paper. So let's say this is all done. You mat it down.
Okay, so we're done with this.
You put the paper on top of that
Oh.
because that keeps it from falling apart.
I was thinking, how are you going to make this happen?
You do like that. And then the paper will usually just slip out. Now, the key to this, see how the dirt came out a little bit? If you watered it first,
it would stay.
You mat it down, it would stay. And then you take your little twisty ties, and that is what you're going to use and connect them together just like this.
Okay.
And when you do that, you go all the way around, you tie it, and then you reuse your chain on the top part. And when you do that, you will have a hanging sphere.
So it'll eventually look like that.
It will look like that. And we just planted this yesterday. So it grows pretty quick.
Beautiful.
And if you fertilize it with Miracle-Gro or any type of liquid fertilizer, it's going to be gorgeous. And it becomes, if you did white, you'd have a living snowball for the holidays.
Oh, that's stunning. Love it. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for you. That's all you're talking about this morning, right?
Yes, but don't forget, we got the pumpkin bash at Plantopia. There it is. We got the pumpkin bash. This is at my new nursery, Plantopia, which is where the old Lakewood Gardens used to be on North Hills Boulevard. And this is great because we got free pony rides at 11 on Saturday. We got free lunch at 12. And it's just fun and great sales, and of course a big pumpkin patch.
And of course it's the first weekend of October, and I've got a great forecast for you.
Yes!
And you get another look at that extended forecast if you stay right here. We'll off to a break. Thank you, Chris.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're tracking severe weather swamping millions this morning and the threat Tropical Storm Joaquin could pose. And retailers have 1 day left to prepare for the chip-enabled cards. Melody Hobson is here to reveal if stores will be ready. The news, it's back in the morning. We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.
Here's a final check of your top stories this morning. The family of the man shot and killed outside of his Little Rock home is offering $15,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of his killer. Back in August, 55-year-old Dennis Soba was shot when he went to check on noises outside of his home. He later died at the hospital. And 8 Arkansas death row inmates are asking a judge to stop their executions less than a month before the first ones are set to take place. The inmates are arguing that the state's refusal to reveal where the execution drugs come from is unconstitutional. They say Arkansas's new secrecy law violates a previous settlement with the state that ensures inmates are given this information. The first 2 inmates scheduled to be executed October 21st. And a new airline now serving Little Rock, and it's bringing a new nonstop flight. New Orleans-based Glow Airlines also flies to Shreveport and Memphis. Flights will start in November with one-way tickets starting at $189.
Okay, here's some things you need to know before we go.
Tell us.
Starting with the dough. You have a chance to win big in the Powerball, don't you know? Tonight's drawing is $301 million. Good luck.
Why do I keep seeing people walk up to you giving you money? What's going on?
I think there's a collaboration here, and a very special happy birthday to our very own Tom Brandon. I love you, Tom. I know you're up watching this morning. He's taking some time off to celebrate this week. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
There he is getting his award from Arkansas Food Bank. Isn't that
Love
something?
it. Some of your favorite classic TV shows now just a click away. I Dream of Jeannie, Family Ties, The Jeffersons, All in the Family, Three's Company, and Leave It to Beaver.
Wow, sounds like my childhood. You can watch those classics on our secondary digital channel, 11.2, starting in January. Episodes of The Johnny Carson Show will join the lineup, too. To learn more about Antenna TV, visit THV11.com. We're so proud of it.
We are. Your traffic conditions really quickly. We're told there are no accidents. Police running radar in Little Rock, Kavanaugh Boulevard, and Arkansas State Police on Cantrell Road.
Smooth sailing in the forecast. 70s for the afternoon ahead. Just one more warm afternoon today, high of 81.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Hope you have a great Wednesday. We'll see you later.
No music today.
Thanks for watching THV 11 News. Stay connected to the THV Information Center 24/7 on your mobile device and with the THV 11 app for your iPad.